Hey guys, this is Rob Giordano, the designer of the Gann Grid Masters software. And today's presentation, this short video, is going to be on the Dow Jones monthly chart. And I'm going to show a pattern that I found based on the numerical squares and the Dow Jones. The numerical squares was a system of timing used and kind of founded by W.D. Gann. There are a few other people that use it as well, but the main father to this particular background, in my opinion, is W.D. Gann. Now, there is an astrological component to it, but we're not going to talk about the astrological side of the Dow Jones chart today, but we are going to look at the numerical squares, half squares and quarter squares, and how it relates to the Dow Jones chart. I'm going to start on a specific date. I'm going to highlight several specific dates and how each one lines up on multiple major monthly turning points, and also several are going to overlap in the near future. And let's begin. So this is a chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Averages, and we're using a grid chart size of 12. So there's 12 by 12 in the grid, and each chart or each grid is 500 points. Since the Dow is at 50,000, basically you can get a good chart highlighted with this particular ratio. Grid size of 12 and a chart price of 500. So now, this chart goes all the way back into 1992, but we're going to basically start on the last major swing low, which was in 3/1/2009, which was 2009's low. And we also had the 2007 top, but we're only going to start. Today, we're going to do the March of 2009 low. Now, we have a tool called Time Plus. Time Plus takes a user-defined point and just draws out time periods across the point that you put your mouse and click. So as you can see, there is, any time period that you want is basically highlighted here. Now, there is another tool, which is called the Numerical Squares Overlay, and we're going to change this to black, and then we're going to start on this date here, again, same date, and we're going to overlay. So right now it's giving you price and time grid lines, but we're not going to use price and time, we're just going to show the timelines. So the timelines laid out is, these are the numerical squares: 9, 16, 24, 36, 49, etc., etc., etc. So now what we see is that the numerical squares do show on the monthly chart, starting from that particular low, major and minor pivots. So we had the 16 month was a minor low, the 25th month was a peak high, and we progress into the future looking at these numerical squares. Now, a majority of them work, and what we're also looking at is that the farther out it goes, the larger in time that these periods highlight. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take the half squares, and we're going to highlight the half squares. And you can see that where the full squares missed, a large majority will pick up with the half squares. So basically what you're doing is you're taking the numerical squares and you're splitting them in half. And as you can see, this was an exact bottom. This was 2 months out from this. This was an exact little pivot low, and so on and so forth. So now the next period we have coming up is in September of 2026 for the half squares. Now, to show even more, we're going to click and highlight. We're going to change this to the color green, and we're going to highlight quarter squares. And there's a good chance that we're going to pick up quarter squares, and we're going to highlight here. So now we had a low, a high, 1 month out, exact top, a little bottom pivot, a little top pivot, and so on. This bottom, this top. So it's coming out pretty predominant in a lot of these particular changes. And the next major pivot would be the 225 months, which would be December of 2027 to January of 2028. Okay, so now that is using that particular date. So let's get rid of this. And then what we're going to do, we're going to also start another set of numerical squares, starting from January of 2016 low. And we're going to just do the full squares first. And we're going to start it right here. And we're going to add in the time plus function, which starts right here. And we could see that the 16, this was 1 month out on the 25. This was exact on the 36 month, exact on the 49 month. This is exactly 72 months. This is 81 months. So these particular two time periods highlighted many of the Dow Jones Industrial Average time periods, with the next one coming in. Again, we're going to have a far out date of 144 months, which is January of 2028. So we had two different pivots, both coming in December and January of 2028. So just using the numerical squares, we can see that a large number of these periods do highlight, and as Gann stated, numerical squares in time do highlight important changes in trend based on the stock, commodity, or index you are researching. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to numerical squares. I'm going to delete all these, and I'm just going to put on a couple of more time plus periods where you can get a general idea of many of the numerical squares from these tops and bottoms, and see if any of them are overlapping in the future. And we have 4 months, which is going to be in May. So we have a May, we have 52 weeks. 52 to 52 weeks is also May. We have 44 to 45 weeks, which is June. We have 81 weeks, which is December. We have 120 weeks, which was the exact pivot off that top. And let's see if we put one more on here. Time plus, let's take this time plus period right here, add it, and let's see, we have 16 coming in on the 6th week, on the 9th month, sorry. So we have 10/26. So we have several periods. We got 52 weeks, which is 53 weeks, which is the square of 2, which is 4 months. We have 9 months, which is the square of 3. We also have, this is 10/26. We have 18 months. We have 18 months here, 49 months here, 80 to 81 here, 80 to 81 months, and 212. So a lot of these periods are showing over the next couple of months where I would consider to start looking for a particular trend change based on the numerical squares. So My first period would be the March. Well, we're in March, April. I would have to say between May and June for a potential pivot. And this also stands true that we have multiple periods of 3 months, 3 to 4 months swing down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. So we have between 2 and 4 months as a major turning point. So right now we're in March and April, May, which would be 3, and June, which would be the fourth period. As far as a price that we can look at, let's look at the AB range. And we're going to take the AB range from the low to a high, and we're going to get the divisions of that particular price swing. And we're looking at a 50% pullback. Just looking at the 50% pullback, we have a number of 43, pretty much 43,500 would be the 50% pullback from this last, from April of 2025 up until February of 2026. We had 13,000, almost 14,000 point swing. 50% of that would be roughly 43,500 as a good support level to watch and keep an eye out for. Now, it could turn from any period or any price, but that is just a good starting period, and I would start looking in the next 2 months for a potential bottom, which will still be a solid uptrend for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It's just a normal correction of, hopefully it stays around the 50% level. If it breaks the 50% level, we're going to have to reevaluate where we are in this cycle. But now, according to Gann, we're in 2026, and the 6th year is usually an up year. 7 years ending in a 7 usually has a longer monthly swing correction, and then we usually go up into the 9 year, which would be the major reversal periods of a trend, which would also be from 2020, from 1929 to 2029, which is also 100-year cycle. And you would also pretty much look for a solid reversal on or around that time. But for right now, we're going to stick with 2026, and I'm looking for a potential reversal in the next 2 months, around a price of 43.50. If it pulls back to the 50% line. If it breaks that 50% line, we're going to have to reevaluate. Guys, thanks for your time. I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you need to contact me, you can contact me direct at pvtpoint@aol.com. And or you could just go to check out the software at www.ganngrids.com. That's GANNGRIDS.com. Have a good day, guys.